One way you guys have rebounded here this week. I guess what can you attribute that to?
Just coming to practice with a different mindset. Coaches have really been on this last week. About getting our focus back and getting that drive back and that hunger back. So that's what we've been concentrating on in practice, and I think it showed in the games.
Especially the way you've been shooting the ball and scoring. Is that something that you guys told yourself, hey, I got to be more assertive, or where did that kind of come from?
Just being more aggressive. This is a tough stretch for us. The toughest stretch that we've had all season. And, with our team, we haven't had a lot of guys go through this. So this is their first time. It's something I've been through for a couple years now, so I just felt the need to try to step up.
When it comes to Texas, what do you remember about that game last time? What do you hope to see this time around?
Well, we know that they'll probably play a zone. It's been effective the last 4 times they played us. So that's something that we're preparing for. It's something that we have to attack, and we're just ready for this game. We had a bad taste in our mouth from last few times we played Texas, so we're ready for this game.
You guys go fairly hard on Sunday, or just kind of take it easy or kind of?
Kind of going through what Texas is going to do. We spent some time on the court, time in the film room, but we didn't go too hard.
In a game like this against a team that won in such a lopsided way, is revenge kind of the one thing that comes to mind?
Definitely. They beat us pretty good at Texas, so we've had a bad taste in our mouth since that game. Up until that point, we hadn't lost a game like that, so we felt that kind of got all of that started, and we're definitely looking forward to playing them again and taking care of home court.
Speaking of that, define what home court advantage is and why teams win 70% of their games at home.
Because this is where you practice at. You're comfortable with the realm, the floor, the atmosphere. You got 16,000 people cheering for you and not the other team. So that's all motivation factors.
Reverse it then. You go on the road. Why is it so hard? Even though
because you got those same factors. You're in a gym that you only play in one time every year. And nobody's in the gym is cheering for you. It gets loud, but none of it's for you. So that's a whole nother thing to play with.
Does that make up so much like what you lost like at Oklahoma, like 20 points and one like 20 points here? Does that make up that much of a difference?
In some ways it can.
But you got that situation working now with the team that beat you down there by 27.
Well, we didn't really play well down there. Regardless of all those factors, we didn't play well, and we didn't play like a team that we've been capable of playing like. So, we just hope to change that around when they come here.
Is there any way to replicate Texas' size in practice?
Nah, we can't replicate their size. We just don't have it. But we also have to make them adjust to the way we play. I don't think they can replicate everything that we do. So, we want to turn this game into a game that's at our advantage.
What makes Wrigley, Holmes, those guys so tough down there? It seems like they've kind of been your arch nemesis the past couple of years.
Well, they play a zone, so their bigs don't really have to lead a paint, and that's what makes them tough, that, their bigs don't have to step away from the rim. So, we just have to do things to bring them away from the rim.
When it comes to playing with someone like Gary this year, it seems like he's been coming on offensively here the last few weeks. What's that been like, and especially having a guy, a fourth, fifth-year guy who's been with this program for so long?
Gary's been huge for us. He's just been another guard to handle the ball, relieve me of a lot of pressure sometimes. He knows what's going on. He's a captain. He knows every spot on the floor. He can play multiple positions. You always know he's going to play hard and give it his all. So it's great playing with Gary. And, when he's going, I feel like it gets me going too.
Well, I'm just kind of wondering, what would be worse to watch, like a bad chick flick or the tape of the last Texas game? What was more difficult?
Honestly, I don't really watch chick flicks. So
well, a bad movie, or
I'm a basketball player, so you lose a game. Obviously, that's worse to watch than a movie.
How difficult was it to just watch the way it kind of snowballed, and then you probably could recognize the things that.
Well, I wasn't really maybe looking at it the way you were looking at it. I'm looking at it, trying to find ways that we can be better in the next game. So I wasn't really looking at it to see how bad it was. I was kind of trying to find ways to be better in the next game.
How much has the half-court offense improved since then? I mean, especially as far as getting better shots. I mean, has that gotten better since you guys last played them?
Yeah, I think everybody is more comfortable with the offense and their role in the offense. I think people know where their shots are going to come from and what they need to do to help the team win. So I think with every game, everybody gets more comfortable in their role, and I think that's why we see a difference.
Does it also help that you guys have made shots in the last couple of games?
Well, we've been, like I said, we've been shooting the ball all year. So it's basketball. Some games, the ball's going to go in. Sometimes it's not. Right. So we're just going to keep shooting and playing the way that we play.
Is there a mental aspect to playing against Texas at all, knowing the size and knowing what you guys are going to go up against before you guys even go out and warm up that day? Or?
No, we're just going out there to win the game. We feel like, if we play the way that we're capable of playing, we can beat any team in the conference. So that's our only mindset heading into this game.
Talking about how tough it is to win on the road and why it is so tough. I guess how can you describe how are you able to pull out that win at Oklahoma State with so many people against you, a ranked team, and all that?
Just playing together as a team. Everybody came together and played as hard as they could. I think we played a great defensive game. We didn't force them into as many turnovers in our press as we wanted to, but we played. I think that was maybe our best half-court defensive game we've had. So, and then we made shots. That's something that we've been struggling with all year. And, to make shots on the road, that was big. So we just played a complete game. It took a whole team effort.